Okay. Now what?
Not a fun experience. Eh?
All right. We're live, Michaela.
So how
Introductions. Who are we introducing?
Oh, this is
Michaela.
Kirsten.
So, yep.
She was on this book. How many did you make?
This was around 2,000 hours.
Why was it interesting to you, Michaela? What did you do last term for your project? What was your project?
Last time we were doing design and culture.
Yeah.
I was originally going to make a code, but I ended up making toys. So it's
Nice.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And the neck? Were you going to do the same designs?
Nice. Yeah. Do you tackle the?
You want
I was
to
gonna
learn the skill?
learn.
No. Yeah.
Just move over a bit.
You want to take the exhibition, eh?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
What made you choose like photos and not feathers?
Okay. So that's a really good question. So my training is as a photographer, and I got my PhD in photography a couple of years ago. So I have taught photography for a really long time. And with photography, you always have to wear white gloves, because when you're touching photographs, you've got oils in your fingers, and But if you're Maori, we talk to photos. They come out at tangi, at a funeral. So photos are really tactile. And then I describe myself as a woman of colour because I'm Maori and brown. And so because of that, being a woman of colour and wearing white gloves kind of feels wrong. It's got all of these negative connotations like blackface or domestic service that is just really uncomfortable. So I've always had confusion, I guess. There's a tension being a photographer and having to wear gloves and coming from a culture that is very tactile. So for me, I guess what I wanted to do, on top of that, photography has a really long history of colonisation. So it's got some really negative, the camera has been used as a weapon for a long
so
time.
you're twisting that.
Yeah. So the camera essentially has been used as a kind of tool to categorise people, to have stereotypes, to present them as a culture that may, as a dying people, trying to record a dying culture. Māori culture is still alive and we're still here. Kia ora. So for me, this is about how do I be an Indigenous photographer? How do I take the camera and how do I make it Māori? How do I take the photograph and Maorify it and turn the flat photograph into an Indigenous object? So I wove it. So the way all of so I made one cloak, traditional way, photographed it, and then I made this, and each of the photographs are inserted the same way that a feather is inserted.
Okay.
So it's been made with customary techniques. And then we have this top part's called tanaku, and in the old days, tanaku used to be around the bottom of cloaks. But photographers came along and they wanted headshots. And they wanted the pretty bit on the headshot. So they actually turned the garment upside down, totally wrong. But now a lot of them remain with tanaku at the top. So this is a comment about photography and photography of Māori people and how do you be a woman of colour and use a photograph.
And your concept was exactly the same, hey? Because you had the top in that kind of crocheted, embroidered, and then you had it at the bottom as well. Yeah.
And was yours going to be life size?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also I have the flags.
Nice.
And I was supposed to supply all the feathers. Can you imagine that?
That's a lot of feathers. Yeah.
I love how you took Māori and made it a verb.
Yeah.
That was That was awesome. How do we matter? What you said, matterize it? Matterize it?
Malarize it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Very cool.
Awesome, thank you. I think this is
Thank you, Kirsten. Thank you, Michaela. Good interviewing skills.
Thanks, Kirsten. You
Yeah.
should pay us a visit. From the Sunshine Coast. Thank you.
All right. Till next time.